Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Karen. I'm from Ohio.
Oh boy, Karen. Another Karen on the line.
Oh, I'm not one of them kind.
I'm just messing with you, Karen. Go ahead. Who you want to give donkey to?
I want to give my donkey to Kevin Samuel. Can I tell you why?
Woo. Sure, go ahead.
Yes.
I think that he openly degrades black women, and he preys on their insecurities that have been given to them in previous relationships and their naiveness. And come on, he gave Saweetie a 6. Dr. Umar spoke on him on all that. He deserves donkey of the day.
Yeah, I think he's lame. I do think he's lame. I mean, what age are we where we're rating women and rating people? I mean, he's a grown-ass man. He's 50 years old. But the thing I don't understand is...
who are you? That's the thing.
But the thing is, which I don't understand is, why do women keep going to him? Like, that's what I don't understand.
Like I said, he preys on their insecurities that they've been given in previous relationships and their naiveness.
Yeah, because he looks about...
It seems like he hates women. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I mean, he used to hang around the Hermes store and try to get clientele, just to try to get people. And he used to wear, dress up and stand outside the stores and try to talk to people. I've seen him actually a couple of times. It's funny. But in Atlanta. But, I mean, I don't know why women still go to him.
Back up. He said hang out outside the Hermes store?
Yeah, he used to try to hang outside the stores to try to get businesses. So he would hang outside the Hermes store and look for, I guess people with a little bit of money and try to talk to him and try to be a stylist or whatever he was trying to do. I seen him out there once or twice. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's weird.
My salesperson from the Hermes store had to remind me, like, you don't remember him? He was the one that was outside the store. I'm like, that was him. Yeah, but he's lame. I don't respect the fact that he sits there and rates women. Oh, this one's a 2 and this one's a 4, and Ma, you look ugly. Ma, you're fat. Like, it's just it's a woman must have hurt him. I don't know. Maybe it was.
Kevin Samuels is a gay man
I don't even know who that
tell
is.
women what to do.
Takes advantage of the
I
insecurities.
don't even know who that is.
Kevin Samuels is a man who's had dick in his ass. But
Well, put it like this: a woman that doesn't watch
do.
that, because I don't watch stuff like that. Why watch stuff like that when you're upset?
Right.
I don't. Ugh.
Kevin Samuels is gonna get accepted in the community that puts you on TV because he take it up
Oh,
the
he's
ass.
one of those guys. Ill. No, if you don't like that, don't watch.
Everybody listen to him say what he say, but I want to ask Kevin Samuels: have you ever fucked around with a man? Can you answer that?
I don't know why they watch him. Like, even the people that don't like him, I don't know why they watch
he's
him.
such a critical woman.
Ugh.
It ain't, no, dog. You see the moistness in that nigga.
But
We
you guys-
men,
what
dog.
you
We
think?
know when somebody moist, man. I ain't saying nothing negative. I'm saying something. He take positive men in the back, and I'm just saying. He could take it if he could take it.
They give him a pep talk.
He could take what I got to say if he take what he take.
Right? You mean Dr. Umar Johnson, the man who has 2 children by 2 different women that he never married? Dr. Umar Johnson, the guy that for the last 10 years has not built brick one of a school he's collected money from. Dr. Umar, hold on, ma'am. Dr. Umar Johnson, the man who calls you queen, mother, goddess, and all this other kind of stuff.
Black women, I count about a dozen. I'm going to call them the dirty dozen of division. The triple D, the dirty dozen of division. There's about 12 members of the dirty dozen of division, 12 beta males, YouTube life coaches, who are trying to build a platform by making black women feel bad. I don't like it. I can't appreciate black men trying to make a dollar off of making black women feel bad. And unfortunately, our black women, some of them are so thirsty for validation that they're participating. They're participating in the attacks and slander against the black female community, and that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. No black woman should ever subject herself, even for amusement, to another man's condemnation. And what makes the condemnation so ridiculous for me, it's mostly superficial. Most of the assessment is superficial, brothers and sisters. It's superficial. You weigh too much. You don't have the right body type. You don't have enough education. You don't make enough money. This is European standards. This isn't African. That's not who we are. And black women are subjecting themselves for this because they want a black man so bad to publicly validate them. They're taking a chance at being totally humiliated because they're so thirsty to have a black man publicly validate them. That's why you're doing this, black woman. See, I want you to understand and overstand the same reason you go on these YouTubian beta male so-called life coaching platforms. The same reason you go on these YouTubian beta male so-called life coaching platforms is the same reason you stay in abusive relationships. It's the same reason black women stay in abusive relationships. It's the same reason black women stay. Why do black women stay in a relationship where she's being exploited sexually, emotionally, or financially?
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Bullets Gotti, man. It's 7:28 a.m. in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I said I was going to do this video talking about this Kevin Samuels situation. Now, I want to talk about Kevin Samuels. I want to talk about, his platform. I want to talk about the pros and cons. I want to talk about, the Umar Johnson video, the Tommy, all these people that's saying his name, Envy. And I want to give my opinion. Now, since Kevin Samuels came on the scene in 2020, his channel rised and all that, and people basically, supported his platform. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women call in his platform, in my opinion, I've watched his platforms, but I haven't like sit there and depth watch them, but I watched the platform. I see what he was talking about. Well, he basically was explaining to, telling these women, basically keeping it real with these women and basically telling these women that the truth. You could say he was humbling a lot of the chicks, as you could say, but in my opinion, he was actually, basically telling the females that you can't have high expectations on the man that you want. And they believe that they can get a six-figure man. And he's telling a lot of women, the six-figure man that you're looking for may not be looking for you. So he's basically like humbling these chicks and, telling these chicks stop being gold diggers, stop being sugar babies, and a whole lot of stuff. So some of what he says I agree with, and a lot of them don't confuse me. I remember he did a video where he asked a dude about his dick size. That right there kind of confused me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Another man, heterosexual man, asking another man, his dick size and a whole lot of stuff. It was confusing me. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people try to say that he was gay. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's a fashionable dude. He's an image consultant. He was was basically, because I remember his channel was basically about fragrance and, different, clothes, high fashion brands, and, him talking about, how, black men need to, basically, get them suited and booted. So when I watched his channel and I saw what he was talking about, it really was like a man giving fashion. He was giving fashion tips and fashion advice for men. And what I seen him did a 360 in 2000 and, 21 in 2020 was his tips was basically, he was telling men to basically, start, you know, taking ownership and responsibility, right? But he was also basically, how you say, speaking more for women. And I got to this world, this preconceived notion that Kevin Samuels is Steve Harvey 2.0. And I think with his platform, he's taking his platform and turning it into what Steve Harvey did with Think Like a Man. And I think that's what he's doing with his platform. Now, I watched his Tasha K interview. We talked about, him being raised by, females and, and being a military, brat and, basically having parents in the military and, coming from Oklahoma, the country life and, him basically being in the corporate world and, being married 2 times and, talking about, his relationships with the women that he was with and, talking about how, the self-hate in the community and beef on YouTube and people doxing and a whole lot of stuff. It's an interesting interview. It kind of was confusing a little bit. That he chose Tasha K to do tell-all interview with, but it is what it is. It's informative. I got this understand him a little more, and he clarified the rumors of him being gay, and basically him talking about the cancel culture and a whole lot of stuff. And he talks about that we need to be unified as people. So with that being said, just watching the whole interview and watching, just everything that was, involved in it. And then seeing, the whole thing with, DJ Envy talking about, him being a lame dude and, him being gay and all type of stuff like that, him raping women and all that. To be honest, to a lot of dudes, Kevin Samuels don't speak to like the street dudes, okay, or the dudes that's like the hip hop type dudes. He doesn't speak for them. I think Kevin Samuels, the guys he speak to is not the guys that you say get all the chicks. I think the guys that Kevin Samuels speak to is the guys that basically are the socially awkward types. I think Kevin Samuels, is dudes that listen to him, but I don't think they really listen to him like to get advice. I think they watch him for entertainment. Now, Kevin Samuels, in my opinion, is good. But, here's a lot of people that hate on him. Here's a lot of people that really don't like his rise. I've seen a lot of dudes in the black manosphere that really didn't, that really in the beginning didn't warm up to him. They really didn't like him in the beginning, because he was talking against men at first. And he then, he looked at it, females is the ones that bring the money in. The female market is what I need. So he went into the female lane, and he saw that, Steve Harvey was successful in that lane. Derrick Jackson was successful in that lane. So he went into that lane. And, looking at his platform and just looking at what Steve Harvey did in 2008 with Think Like a Man, I say Kevin Samuels is doing what Steve Harvey and Steve Harvey's bodyguard Boomerang did in 2008 with the whole Think Like a Man situation. I think at 2021, he is the 2.0 Steve Harvey. Derrick Jackson was trying to be the Steve Harvey, the younger version of Steve Harvey, but I think what ruined Derrick Jackson was actually, the whole thing with Tasha K exposing him with the whole, him cheating on his wife. and that really like, rubbed people the wrong way, and I think it actually hurt his brain. It didn't hurt him, but it kind of like put a dent in his brain. But we're watching everything that's going on. Umar Johnson, Cynthia G, all these people saying that, Kevin Samuels took the main was taking their talk points. Now, my opinion about that, right? This is how I feel about Umar, Kevin Samuels, and, Tommy and all them, Cynthia G, right? Now, Tommy has a great argument. I'm going to give him that. He has a great argument. Tommy, his argument is that he took a lot of his talking points. Now, I could agree. I've heard some of Tommy's talking points on Kevin Samuels' platform, but like Jay-Z said, he made it a hot line. I made it a hot song. And I think what Kevin Samuels was able to do was not be aggressive and not come off as a self-hated to women, as like Tommy was like on some, I'm gonna attack black women, and that's what really hurt his platform. Now, don't get me wrong, Tommy is a genius and is on his own right. Tommy was great at what he does, but what killed Tommy, and I told him on his platform, was I think was a lot of the beefing. And I think when he lost his first channel that was really successful, I think that's what hurt Tommy. When they took his channel in 2018, I think it really, it kind of like had Tommy at a rock and a hard place. I think that Tommy Sotomayor will always be relevant. Don't get me wrong, he'll always be relevant. He's not going anywhere. But I think that Tommy won't be at the level that he was in 2018, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012, 2011. Like, I don't think he'll ever be at that position, because that was his greatest moments and times on YouTube. That's when he was killing them. And a lot of people just don't understand that. Now, let's fast forward now. Kevin Samuels comes on the scene. He has the same momentum, but he did it in a faster pace. Now, I don't know how long Kevin Samuels is going to stay on top. Now, he's mainstream. I wouldn't say he's not viral, like, but he's big, but he's not viral. Like, it's other YouTubers I've seen that's been viral. He's had like a couple clips that went crazy and went viral, but he's never went like OD viral. But he's big. He was on Joe Budden's podcast. He was on No Jumper. People's embracing him because he's the new hottest commodity on YouTube. But in my opinion, as a black YouTuber, you're gonna have to pivot. And to get to that next level, you're gonna have to do the Steve Harvey thing and play outside your demographics. See, Steve Harvey got the talk show on NBC. Now, Steve Harvey's been big for a long time, talk show wise. I remember the first talk show he had was Steve Harvey Big Time. That was like 2003. But it wasn't as successful as when he did the Steve Harvey show on NBC, which took him to, like, he was on primetime TV, came on at 1, 2 in the afternoon. The people that was watching him was soccer moms, and you had men that watched him, but you had soccer moms, and a lot of other women watched him. And he basically was doing what he was doing in his books, giving people motivational speaking and telling about relationships and all that. And Steve is good at that. That's what he does on his morning show. I listen to his morning show every morning. I like Steve Harvey. You know what I'm saying? I like his whole shtick. I think a lot of people don't like Steve Harvey because of things like a man. But he knew what he was doing when he wrote that book. You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was doing. You know, his bodyguard, Boomerang, who was the one that was doing the seminars. But he knew what he was doing when the book came out. He knew how to basically to take that to the top. And that's what he did. He took it to the top, became bestseller, and then boom, the movies came out, 1 and 2, which was successful. Will Packer. And that took him to the whole different more heights, which is now he got the Think Like Success book out. So Steve Harvey knew what he was doing. He was successful at the relationship conversation. Now he's talking about business and laws of attraction. That's what Steve's doing. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. In my opinion, you know, relationship is good. You know, Kevin Samuels is an image consultant. He is all about image. You know, but I still think that a lot of women come on there to his platform because they're looking for a father figure. Kevin Samuels is a man in his 50s. To a lot of these young women that's in their 20s and 30s, they look to this man as a father figure. And I think that if they had a real father figure, they wouldn't be calling this man's show looking for something that they never had, a father. A lot of these women do need a therapist. This man is not a therapist. He's an image consultant. He's about image. You know, but he does what he does. He's a matchmaker, you know. But in my opinion, he's still an image consultant. Now, I want to talk about, you know, Umar Johnson. Now, Umar Johnson, to me, in my opinion, I think a lot of what Umar Johnson was coming out of hate. It was coming out of a lot of like him having an issue with Son's success. And I think he didn't like that Son became big on YouTube. And a lot of people was talking about this dude, and he's very popular. And I think a dude like Umar that's been around, that's been successful on YouTube for so long, it hurts a dude like Umar. It hurts a dude like Umar to see a dude that basically blew up out of nowhere now. Like I said, Kevin Samuels wasn't big. He became big last year because of his viral videos. His viral videos that he did helped him. It helped his career. It helped him, you know, basically helped his platform. You know, him, you know, basically, you know, going in on these women really helped him. And it reached him to, you know, being, you know, hitting on World Star. Like he was doing crazy numbers on World Star. Just off of him, you know, doing these videos on these women. And I think that's what, you know, helped him. Now, in my opinion, when I watched the Tasha K interview, right? I watched the interview. How I felt about the interview is that it was a good interview, but it wasn't kind of my cup of tea. I think man got good. He can do an interview. He's good at that. But to me personally, it was on some fandom type of thing. I think I would have loved to see him do a face-off interview with somebody like a Mike Tyson. I would have loved to see him on Mike Tyson's platform. He did Joe Budden's. You know, he did No Jumper. I'd have loved to see him do Mike Tyson. I'd have loved to see him do Joe Rogan. You know, I think Tasha K is cool, but Tasha K is still black, you know. And there's nothing wrong with the black YouTube, you know, it's nothing wrong with that. But it's like if you're trying to get mainstream, trying to go global, you have to go out of your demographics on YouTube and you have to go to the next level. And I think the next level is like doing the Mike Tyson podcast, you know, the hot boxing, doing, you know, Joe Rogan. You know, these is platforms that are bigger than Tasha K. You know, Tasha K is big for black YouTube, but she's not, you know, big like these platforms that I'm talking about. You know, hot boxing would have been great. You know, he did No Jumbo, but do hot boxing. You know, do Vlad. You know, I'm not too much of a big fan of Vlad, but you know, Vlad would have even been good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in my opinion, like it wasn't a bad interview. Like I said, it wasn't a bad interview, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. I've seen better. But I like to hear his story because I never knew that much about him. I knew he was from Oklahoma. I knew he was into, you know, consulting, but I didn't know a lot about his story. And I'm gonna just keep it real. A lot of people don't like dude. You know, a lot of people have their disdain for dude. I don't have a disdain for dude because I don't know. I know of him. You know what I'm saying? I used to see him a lot around the times that I used to be, you know, watching a lot of Black Men on Spin, seeing him being promoted on BGS and Angry Man and, you know, people like that, and my big bro C Boogie and a lot of these dudes that was promoting him on YouTube. I seen him. He was a fashion dude. You know what I'm saying? I remember how he came on here. You know, he had the, you know, dude that wore the designer clothes. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, talking about fragrance, talking about, you know, different designer brands. So that was what his main focus was on his platform, you know. And I think when later on, when he got to what he got to now, his main focus became about, you know, basically talking about, you know, black women, because black women is his biggest consumer of his channel, you know. And I tell people, when you're urban and you're in the urban market on YouTube, like I heard him talk about, you know, the hip hop, but I mean, like he's urban, so the hip hop, you know, demographics are going to gravitate to him, you know, just because he's new and he's different. You know what I'm saying? You see a dude wearing a suit, candles, century, like the way his mood is on YouTube is it's real, it's different, but it's kind of a model-esque of Frankie Crocker. If you know who Frankie Crocker was a DJ, biggest DJ in New York City on radio, you know what I'm saying, for WBLS. He was a big DJ, popular. Frankie Crocker he used to come on and he used to have women in the hot tub, you know what I'm saying, in the tub. And they would sit there and they would drink champagne and he would have the studio lit up with candles, you know, and it was so, he was just a smooth, debonair type of dude. Now, when people talk about Cass Daniels, he's a suave, sophisticated brother, you know what I'm saying? He's a dude in his 50s. So he's not a dude that's a hip hop guy. He's a guy that's, you know, into R&B, you know, smooth jazz. You know, you could just tell by the way he dressed and the way he carries himself. He's a dude that's really into like, you know, sophisticated, smooth stuff. You know, he's a champagne. You could tell he's a champagne wine type of guy, cigar type of guy. You know, you know, he likes to wear suits. He's not a sneaker and jeans dude. He's a shoes dude. He's a shoes, jeans, you know, jean jacket, you know, cashmere sweaters. That's the type of guy he is. So he's a well good dressed dude. So he's a smooth, type of dresser and a smooth type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He likes to wear designer glasses. You know what I'm saying? He wears a lot of designer glasses. So the type of dude he is. He's a high fashion guy. High fashion guy. And you gotta respect it. He has a style that's just not for a lot of the dudes. And a lot of the dudes have a disdain for him, is not into the type of fashion he is. Like I said, he's a high fashion brand type of dude. He's a sophisticated type of dude. He reminds me of like the L.A. Reid type of dudes, Kadar Mansonberg, who manages Joe and who discovered D'Angelo. He's like, who else I could put in there? Like, that's a suave dresser. Steve Harvey types. Just dudes that just is suave type of dresses. That's just into like dressing, and he's into dressing. He's just into dressing, and so a lot of the cats that don't like him, they just don't like him because they just not, he just don't mesh with the dudes. And I've seen a lot of the dudes that's like street dudes, the street type of dudes. They don't mesh with him, and he's just not their type of cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. A lot of dudes in the streets don't wouldn't get a Kevin Samuels because he's not cut from their cloth. You know what I'm saying? A dude that get chicks and that get pussy and that got game, he's not gonna listen to a Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying? He's just not gonna entertain a Kevin Samuels. Yeah, he might watch it and be entertained, but he's not gonna entertain him. And understand it. That's understandable. But a dude that's, a 9-to-5 dude, a dude that's a corporate guy, he may listen to Kevin Samuels. He may support what a Kevin Samuels is talking about. It's a lot of dudes that watch Kevin Samuels that like him. Now you got people that go crazy and fanatics of dude, which I don't think any man should be a fanatic of a man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a little bit too much. But I do understand why they like him. He's blunt and he's very blunt. You know what I'm saying? He's very blunt and he's like, he tells it like it is. And his opinions is the way it is. And I think a lot of people just don't understand him because he's just different. Like I said, a lot of people say, oh, the man gay, the man gay. Like I said, I don't know if he's, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the man's gay because it's none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of dudes, he said he was raised by his mother, and I know a lot of dudes that was raised by their single mothers and just raised by women. Those dudes is like very church driven, always been, dressed as fashionable dudes, and always been about education. He's the type of dude that you could just look at. He's raised military. He said he came from a military background family. I got a lot of military people in my family. He was raised by black. He had a black mother. Black mothers and black women, and his grandmother, and a lot of people was talking about he was raised by. So his story doesn't, can't, So a lot of dudes just got a lot of hate and a lot of jealousy for the dude because he blew up. He blew up mighty fast. When you blow up as fast as he did, he blew up very fast. Not gonna lie, he blew up overnight. Started off, you had 80. I remember he had 80,000 subscribers. Man, turning 80,000 to 100, from 100,000 to 200,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. Now he's at 800,000, almost 900,000. So he turned his platform into something big. Now, we talk about Umar. That's how I feel about Umar. I feel like Umar came out left field to go at son, because they in two different, how you say, lanes. Umar is conscious. Kevin Samuels is not on that conscious community type of thing. He's not on that Pan-African wave. Kevin Samuels does his relationship thing. He's not even black. I don't even call him Black Manosphere. He's just doing his thing on the matchmaking relationship thing and giving advice. Umar doesn't do that. Now, Umar has a lot of flaws with him with the whole school thing. Now, Umar is not a bad person. He's doing something he's trying to help the black community. And I get him. But I also will say that Umar came off hating on dude because it's like you and dude is not in the same lanes, you know. And I felt like Umar was more going at Phil the Avaz show and O'Shea Duke Jackson and Tariq more than Kevin, because I never heard Kevin talk about Pan-Africanism, and I never heard him talk about, consciousness at all. I heard somebody say, why you don't talk more like Umar to the women? And like I said, him and Umar is two different. They on two different levels, and they are two different types of people. They're not the same. Kevin Samuels and Umar are not the same. These are two different guys. One guy is a doctor, professor, and he's conscious. The other dude, like I said, he's a corporate guy, image consultant, and he's about basically giving relationship advice. Umar, on the other hand, he's about opening schools up and talking about black love and black marriages and all that. Okay, understand that. And when I heard him say that son took his talking points, I don't hear any talking points from Umar. Like I said, Tommy got a great, fight, because I've heard some of Tommy's talking points that came out of Kevin's mouth. But Kevin just, how you say, neutralized them better than Tommy, and he was able to basically make them more effective, and it helped him. Whereas Tommy, he quickly faded himself, which is sad. But it is what it is. DJ Envy, Corey Holcomb, and many others that's coming at Kevin. I hear where they coming from. Son is different. Saying there's a lot of pictures out there of son like, yeah, look kind of wild. Saying some of them look, I wouldn't say, look kind of suspect. So, a picture with him was supposed to be like, look like it's 87 or 80, 86, where he got like the shag, Jerry Curl shag going on. He looking like JT Taylor from Kool and the Gang, or some from Ready from the World, or Troop. And it's a high school picture of him, and he was supposed to be a cheerleader. That was like the first picture they leaked out, and then they leaked out another picture where he was at looked like he was at a Kappa function. He had his Kappa jacket on, red Kappa jacket, and he had his hair, like how Cisco used to have it. And he was sitting there, and the picture looked, I'll say, kind of suspectish. But they are trying to basically put that label on that man. I don't know why they is. He is a flamboyant dude. He is a fashionable guy. But I can't just say the man is gay, because it has to be evidence of that. You can't just say somebody's gay and you don't have evidence of that. And they just ran with, oh, he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. And you can't say he's gay, he's gay, he's gay, and you don't have no evidence. No substantial evidence that the man is gay. And That's what he talked about in the platform. But he said they always was calling him gay for years. You know, so he's been dealing with that a long time. People call him gay. And he said he's not gay. And it's crazy. Now, the thing that's crazy about all of this, right? It's really crazy about all of it. Crazy about all of this is that everybody's jumping on this man because they know he's doing good. Now, like I said, I don't agree with everything Kevin Samuel says because to me, I don't watch him like that. Now, I like Steph is Cold. I like my boy. I like my boy EMS. You know, I like O'Shea. You know, but O'Shea, he doesn't do like how he used to do with the Man on Spirit work. So it's like Steph is Cold and AMS is like my two guys. You know, and Fresh and Fit. I like Fresh and Fit. I like that platform. I like those three platforms. And it's just people that don't understand that don't understand the Kevin Samuels, they just go at him. Now, I was watching The Breakfast Club, and a chick called and brought up Kevin Samuels' name, saying she was going to give him the donkey of the day. And Envy didn't too care for him, and he said that he was lame and gay. And he said that, you know, he used to see him out in Atlanta, outside the Hermes store, trying to get clients. Now, I've heard that's true. That he was out in Atlanta trying to get clients and basically to help them. Now, the thing with Kevin Samuels, in my opinion, is why a dude like an Envy will say what he said, because a dude like an Envy just don't, you know, he couldn't connect with a Kevin Samuels. And I think a lot of dudes just can't connect with a Kevin Samuels, you know. I think a lot of dudes just wouldn't even know who Kevin Samuels is. You know, for people that maybe watch YouTube, they would know who he is. I asked a lot of people about him. They don't even know who he is. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting big, you know, watching like his clips is like he even said it on the interview. The clips is what boosts his channel up. You know, these clips with these women. That's what actually boosts his channel up. Without those clips, without those videos, it would have been over. And I think a lot of people just don't understand that Kevin Samuels is just, he's speaking to who his demographic is. His demographic is not the dudes on the streets. His demographic is, he said, the bougie type of dudes. You know, working class type of success dudes. And it's crazy. And I think a lot of times he's been humbling. Like, I was kind of mad with Kevin when he went on a date with the Tommy Lee chick. I was like, I don't know. Fucking with that bird. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think he should have been even like entertaining that, because she's toxic. But it is what it is. He did what he did. And I think a lot of people just don't like him. And like I said, I understand where Envy was coming from. In Envy opinion, he just don't understand him and don't care to like him. And he had a point what he was saying. You know, to a lot of dudes that get chicks and dudes that got game and dudes that's married, they would say, oh, this nigga's lame. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not like them. So, is what it is. You know, and it's crazy, you know. And like the Cynthia G component comes in, she tried to take credit for Kevin Samuels, which is a bunch of hogwash, because she never celebrated that man or his baby. It's like, you know, people just don't understand that. It's like people don't understand that. It's sad. And that's crazy. You know. I feel like a lot of people just don't understand where Kevin Samuels is coming from. I feel like people just don't get him because they just waiting for, you know, I always say like a second coming of basically somebody to be a father figure. These women want a father figure, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they want. Women want a father figure. These women want a father figure, and I think Kevin Samuels, get my breakfast. It's like Kevin Samuels is like their father figure, you know? And you can just tell by how they have their conversations that he's like a father figure, you know? He's like their father figure. So they'll watch him basically to get advice on asking him what they're doing wrong. And when he tells them what they're doing wrong, you have women that, you know, like a Cynthia G, like a Pink Pill, like a Paris Milan, like a Chrissy, will get mad about what the man is saying. But the man is, and Anala says, you can't get mad with what the man is saying. He's talking facts. He's talking to modern day women. And I get it. I get it. Now, me personally, I think some of what he says is kind of harsh. I think he's kind of harsh to some of these women because these women are not kind of like bad women. They're pretty good women, and they're not, you know, skankish women. Because he has some women on there that's good women, but they just want a man that's gonna be there for them. And he comes off real abrasive, but I get it. Like he said, he had parents that, you know, he comes from a military family background and, you know, all that, you know, stuff that he was talking. So I can understand his delivery. It's real abrasive and it's real strict, you know. Comes on a disciplinarian type of way. So I get it. It's like humbling the women, like a father. But I think a lot of these women shouldn't even call in for him because if that's what you're looking for, a father figure, then you need to go look for your father or you need to go get therapy. And I think a lot of these women need therapy, you know. And it's the thing, like with Cynthia G trying to like basically go taking, you know, saying Kevin Samuels took talking points from her. Kevin didn't take any talking points from her because nothing he says comes from her. I think she's delusional. I think she was clout chasing. I think she's trying to get her name out there, but nobody's checking for her because you gotta understand, this is a woman that doxed Tariq Nasheed, okay? Because he didn't want to deal with her. So she doxed him with the help of other female black YouTubers that doxed him and almost got this man killed in his household, which I'm going to do a video about that real soon. So with that being said, Kevin is doing what he's supposed to do. Kevin is a businessman. He knows how to work, and like I said, he's the 2.0 of Steve Harvey. He's doing what Steve Harvey did in 2008 with his platform. His platform is like Think Like a Man all over again. You can just hear from the talking points. You can just hear. And I told a lot of people was like, no, he's not going to be another Steve Harvey. He's going to be another Steve Harvey. Just the way it's going, just hearing, he's another Steve Harvey. You know, Steve Harvey, everything that I see Kevin models himself after Steve Harvey. He models himself after Steve Harvey. He don't model himself after nobody else but Steve Harvey. Just watching the whole suit thing, all of that. Steve Harvey used to talk about his suit collection, talk about black men starting to wear suits and all that. Personal tips and all that. So he's not a black manosphere dude. He's a dude that basically is an image consultant giving advice to women. You know, and I think a lot of dudes want to hang on to him and say he's one of them, but he's not. He never said he was. He's just a dude that basically is about giving advice to women and growing his platform to the next level. Like he told y'all, it's all business. And that's what it is. So I tell people all the time, man, Kevin Samuels is going to pivot from all of this black space because he's trying to broaden his brand. He's trying to broaden his brand. He's trying to get that talk show. You know, and he may get the talk show, man. He may get the talk show. One of these networks might pick him up. Fox, NBC, CBS, they might pick him up. You know, and he might grow his platform. You never know. You never know. So salute. Just keeping it real, and that's all I could do, man. That's all I could do. You know, people need to just stop hating on the dude and just let the dude do him, man. He ain't doing nothing wrong. You know, like I said, I don't watch Kevin 24/7, but I watch him sometimes. And his talk points is valid. Something that I don't agree with, and a lot I do agree with. So it is what it is, you know. So y'all have a good morning, man.